Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to cover some of the most important SAS procedure which are used on day-to-day basis. So PROC SORT, PROC MEANS, PROC SUMMARY and PROC FREQUENCY. These procedures are heavily used in reporting, data analysis and asked heavily in all the interviews. So we'll start with some sorting the data and then we'll move to statistical summary and then finally frequency reporting for the real world use case. On your screen, all of you can see that I'm using the SAS Free University Edition. Just go on Google, type SAS Free University Edition and you will find it. And if you're very first time on my channel, make sure you saw all the other videos in this playlist because all of those are very important for any of the interviews. Now let's coming back to the question. So first, before using any of the procedure, we should create a simple data set. Now in this data set, what we are doing, I'm just creating a sales data set where I have like employee ID, region, product, what I am selling and the amount for how much I am selling that product. Okay, so you can see in which region what all the products are getting sold. Okay, now this is a raw data, it's a small data, but in real world scenario you will see millions and millions of observation. Now first proc for the day is going to be proc print. So what is proc print? Proc print is basically simply helpful to print this data set. If I run this only this piece, I select this and I run this. So this is coming to output window in SAS. But if I want to print it in a better form, so you can see the data is like looking very messy. It's not properly presentable. So if I run the proc print for this, then you will see the difference. You can see how well structured this is. Like you can show it to your client. It is visible. So that's the use of proc print, the basic print. Now let's move on to the second procedure, that is PROC SORT. So PROC SORT, just look at this. PROC SORT is used to arrange data in ascending or descending order. It's also required by grouping processing. So whenever you want to process the data by grouping, you need to sort the data. Before the sorting the data, you cannot do that. Now what we are doing here, so PROC SORT has a syntax PROC SORT data and the name of the data set, which is sales. Then you're creating an output data set. So the syntax is out equal to sorted sales. So the new data set will be created by this particular name. Then by region, by default it's ascending. So by the ascending region and descending amount. So descending, you know, right? Now it will sort the data on two grounds. First on the basis of region, then descending amount per region. And then I will just print this. So proc print is just like potato. It's used with all the vegetables. So in PROC SORT also, to print the output, you need PROC SORT. It's very important. Sorting by region, highest amount first within the region. That's the output it should show me. When I run this, you can see the output that east, then north, then south. Now amount is sorted region wise. So these are the two regions. The top amount is 40,000. In the north region, 55,000 is the top amount. In the south region, 45,000 is the top amount. So that's how easy PROC SORT makes your life. Now let's talk about the different PROC, that is PROC MEANS. PROC MEANS is bit strategic. So let's first put it here. Only these small 3 lines. You need to first understand the syntax. PROC MEANS equal to the name of the dataset, simple. Where is again a variable which shows that I want all the processing on this particular variable. I will remove this and I will show you without that also, that what is the by default output of PROC MEANS. Let's say I cut this. If I only run PROC MEANS on the sales data, it will show you so many observations. See, it is a statistical kind of procedure. It's used so much. It gives the mean, it gives the sum, min, max, all those values, standard deviation across the observation. Now let's put only that variable. So now I want all the calculation on the basis of the amount in the sales. I run this, you can see. On the basis of the amount, this is the mean value for the amount. Then you have standard deviation of the amount. Then what is the minimum value? What is the maximum value? So you can see, you can go back to the table and check also. Maximum value is 55,000. What is minimum value? 20,000. That's what PROC means is doing here. So PROC means is used to calculate statistical measures like sum, average, minimum, maximum, all those value. And you need to brainstorm a little bit more about PROC means also. I will show you more things, but PROC means is a huge topic. Okay. So now let's generate report by using the class keyword within the PROC means. So for that, let's write small piece. This one. So in PROC means I'm using the same one. Only thing I'm just changing the sequence. So there is a keyword called class. I want to classify on the basis of the region. Okay. That's the catch here. So we are generating report by the grouping variable, that is class. So summary per region will come. That's the explanation for this, and no need to sort the data as well. Let's run this. You can see, right, summary as per every region, what total number of observations, total number of counts, and then you have the mean for every region, then you have the minimum value in that region, maximum value in that region. In that manner, PROC means is very useful, very strong. So I would say Google it and obviously try to read more about PROC means on the SAS website. It's a vast PROC, but this is a major use, okay, which are getting used day-to-day basis. Again, it's a very important procedure from the interview perspective. Now let's move on to a different PROC, that is PROC summary. So PROC summary, I will talk. Before that, PROC summary is similar to PROC means, but it does not print the output unless you specify it. Like you can see, right, I have not given any PROC print. After PROC sort, I give the PROC print. Here, no need. Now in the PROC summary, you need to explicitly call the print statement. Otherwise, it won't print the data. So in PROC summary, again, I'm using the sales data set. And if I remove this PROC print part from here and I only run this piece, you see, it's not printing anything. You can see we have come to output, not results. Usually whenever I run the PROC print, it puts you into results. Okay. Now you can see two variables, underscore type, underscore frequency. So these are the by default variables getting created by PROC summary. And now run this whole code together. Okay, again these are the two by default variable which are getting created. That's one difference between PROC means and PROC summary. In PROC summary you will see underscore type underscore and underscore frequency underscore. So frequency talks about the occurrence, okay, and type talks about the type, the nature of the row. It's a character or it's numeric and all that. So PROC summary, between difference between PROC summary and PROC means you understood. Okay, now you can see one thing, this NWay option, it's only basically group the output, nothing else. Just remember NWay option. If I remove this, now I run this, so there is no grouping. So you have a added row. This is one extra row, unnecessary row. That's the flaw with SAS programming also, I would say. So that's why we use NWay option. So it only gives me the necessary rows which are there. That one garbage row is there. That's not required. So it creates the data set instead of printing it by default. That is one thing you should remember about PROC summary. Now let's talk about the different PROC, that is PROC frequency. Again, a very important PROC from the statistical perspective. It's a small PROC. PROC frequency data on the sales, the first data set which we created, and then the table on the basis of region. So count the record per region. That's what it does. So in east you have 2 frequency, and north you have 3 frequency, south you have 2 frequency. Then it gives you the percentage out of 100, like out of that, like it divides the share as per the 100%, and then gives you accumulative, basically cumulative frequency and then cumulative percentage. So you can see this is very useful. Both these PROCs, 3 PROCs, summary, means, frequency, are super useful. Now let's talk about PROC frequency with multiple variables. So let's analyze the relationship between 2 variables. How we will do that? This is cross product of 2 different variables. We also call it cross tabulation. So sometimes somebody can ask you that what is the meaning of cross tabulation in proc frequency. So you need to give this output, that when you basically give this asterisk symbol to two variable and you want the region versus the product. So that is one of the example of cross product. You want region wise product. Okay. So that's a example of cross tabulation. If I run this, you can see how descriptive, how good table this is. So this is frequency. The first row in all the region are talking about frequency. Then you have percentage, then row percentage and column percentage. So you can see all that. These are all statistical measures which are used in some time in statistical portfolios also. Okay. So real reporting use case. Let me give you one of the example of real reporting use case also. So in this PROC summary, data, sales and way, and then we are using class for region, variable for amount, then outputting it and then simply printing it. Okay. Simple industry ready stuff which I showed you earlier. I hope you got that. Okay. In real time project, this kind of codes are very common and you will see that a lot. Now key takeaway from this particular session is PROC SORT. It arranges the data. PROC means statistical summary. PROC summary, data creation for the reports, and PROC frequency and cross tabulation analysis. These procedures are essential for reporting and analytics in any of the banks. So you should learn all of that. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next session. And make sure you download all this code from the description box from the GitHub repository of mine. Thank you so much. All the best.